Welcome to the weekly Star Wars news update / rundown / still needs a name. Yeah, let's get on with the news for this week. John Boyega says he's open to coming back to Star Wars. Now, this is one of many sequel trilogy actors that have recently come out and said they return, which for me is good news. And it says here, I'm open to the conversation as long as it is Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, and maybe someone else on their team. Then it is a no-brainer. So he's clearly quite ready to come back to Star Wars. This is probably due to the fact that the hate for the sequel trilogy, which obviously he starred in, has died down since they initially released, and some fans are even learning to appreciate them, such as myself. Now, he also says, I'm a Mandalorian fan, so Lucasfilm is doing very well with the TV shows. An animated show would be dope. We could do it from home. Now, I've been a big supporter of the potential animated sequel trilogy show where the actors actually voice their characters as a way to encourage the fans that aren't so keen on the sequel trilogy to actually watch it, and yeah, this would be great in my opinion. It's also quite likely that Disney wouldn't want to spend the money of a full, proper actor and actress from the live-action sequels to voice the animated ones, so where could John Boyega return in live-action? Well, we all want to see Finn become a Jedi, so it's highly likely that we're going to see Rey train Finn in some kind of show or maybe movie or even a movie trilogy following the rise of Skywalker. I personally would really want to see this as well as the animated sequel show. Now, the next thing I'm going to cover is a very small hint and tease from EA about Battlefront 3. Now, they tweeted out about Battlefield, and this reply saying, we don't care, give us Battlefront 3, picked up a bit of traction, and EA Help replied with this GIF, just showing two people looking at their monitor, showing that they're acknowledging the want for Battlefront 3 from the fans, in my opinion. Now, this may seem like a bit of a stretch, and it probably is, but EA has never even given us this much, and that is why people are actually talking about it. For me, it shows that they are at least aware that the fans want Battlefront 3, so we're probably closer than we was before they posted this in terms of how close we are to getting Battlefront 3. Not in terms of like how far into development the game is, if it already is, but I mean in probability that we will actually get the game. Next up is going to be that the LEGO Star Wars sets for the summer of 2021 have been released, and here they are. For me, they actually look really good. I've only just started collecting a bit of LEGO, and when I say a bit, I really mean a bit. I literally have one X-Wing, but the Moff Gideon light cruiser and the slave one here very much interest me, and we also have a like Empire troop transport from the Mandalorian Season 2. We also have another Mando pack with the Tuskens, a Bad Batch shuttle, and a Mandalorian starfighter. And I think what's particularly interesting from all of these sets is the minifigures, and I definitely want to pick up the Moff Gideon light cruiser because it has Grogu, Mando, Cara Dune, Fennec Shand, Moff Gideon, and a Dark Trooper, so that is quite a lot, and it's very interesting that Cara Dune is included because they quite easily could have not had her in it at all because it's already a lot, or have Cosca Reeves or Bo-Katan instead, but we know that Gina Carano got sacked, and it seems like they were just going to try and ignore her character from existence, and that's why the AT-ST set from The Mandalorian Season 1 went up in price a little bit, or people thought it was going to go up in price a little bit, because they just thought her character would be out of existence, there would never be any more LEGO of her, but well, it turns out that there is, so yeah. Let me know which set you're most likely to pick up. I'm probably going to pick up the slave one as well with Mando and Boba. It's just a shame that would mean that I have two Mando minifigures, as my set is so small that I would want to be having as many unique ones as possible, but, you know, if I'm picking up a slave one, I would want it to be the most recent one, so that is what I'm going to go for. The next bit of news we have from this week is that Emilia Clarke, the actor of Kira, praises the return of her in Star Wars. As we know, she is in a comic set between episode 5 and 6, meaning that she survived the era of like Dryden Voss and the whole like Maul's criminal empire being called, of course, Crimson Dawn. So the fact that she's happy about her character surviving means that she would be happier to return to play her character in potentially the Lando series, which we don't really know when that's going to be set. A lot of people speculate that that it is going to basically be Solo 2, and they didn't want to make a Solo 2 because Solo 1 initially flopped, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It seems to be that it didn't do well because of its release time being around the time of The Last Jedi, which people weren't so happy with, not because people didn't actually like Solo. And there's been a big uproar and call for Solo 2 itself, so I think it's very likely we're going to see her in one of those two. Now, this next story is very, very strange. A federal judge declares The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker are mediocre and shockly. I don't really know too much about this, but basically it was promised by George Lucas after selling Star Wars to Disney that there would be no more bad Star Wars movies following the prequels. So basically this insults the prequels and the sequels. I don't see anything coming of this, as the quality of the movie is 100% subjective. It just seems like a clickbait article, as it's not like Star Wars are going to be fined for making bad movies, because like I said, it is completely subjective. And to be honest, I liked both the sequels and the prequels, so I mean, I disagree. The last bit of news I have to cover is that The Mandalorian Season 3 has been pushed back to late 2022 instead of the initial early 2022 that it was said to be released at the start. Filming is set to be started in September rather than April this year, so it would have already started and potentially finished, which is a shame, but delays are to be expected as COVID is not fully over and wasn't fully over, especially when it would have been in filming, which would have only been a month or two after the Book of Boba Fett, because it was only meant to be released a month or two after the Book of Boba Fett initially. As much as I want The Mandalorian Season 3 as soon as possible, I don't see the delay as too much of a problem, because we are getting Andor, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, all like very, very soon, and now before Mandalorian Season 3, so we still have plenty of content coming out. I believe Visions is now going to be coming out before Mando Season 3 as well, so we still have a lot of content, and the rest of the Bad Batch, and someone that is a Marvel fan too, plenty of stuff, so I'm not too worried about it, although like I said, I would have wanted to see it as soon as possible, because who wouldn't? Like, the way the last season ended and the potential for the story of Mandalorian Season 3, like, who wouldn't want to see it, like, tomorrow? Anyway, that is going to wrap up this video. Those were the most important and relevant pieces of Star Wars news from this week, in my opinion. Let me know if I should do this as a weekly thing. I don't really cover Star Wars news ever, so I'm not planning on making it a daily thing, but maybe like a weekly rundown like this of the most relevant stories could be pretty cool. So yeah, let me know what you think on each of these like bits of news, and thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much for 5,300 subscribers. Let's try and get to 7.5k, which is the next milestone, as soon as possible. When you're seeing this, tomorrow is my birthday, so it would be very nice if I woke up tomorrow on my birthday with this video having done very, very well, and you know what to do to make that a possibility. Do all those things that I just asked of you, and yeah, thank you for watching. In a bit.